Straw Hat's divine punishment in Skypiea has been set in motion, and it's a little bit different than I was expecting. Nami, Chopper, Zoro, and Robin have all been essentially kidnapped by God's minions, God's soldiers, I guess you could say, and they are being brought directly to him, or at least his land. They're getting brought to the upper yard, to somewhere like a sacrificial altar, although it's not what it sounds like. They're not actually getting taken there to be sacrificed immediately or anything like that. They're essentially being used as hostages in order to bring Luffy, Usopp, and Sanji over. They're the ones that are actually being judged at the moment, those three, and the way that they have to pursue them is directly through the front door of Upper Yard. Essentially, they can't sneak through the island and get past the priests. They have to confront them directly, and they have to fight the priests, and they have to defeat them in order to get their friends back. And I think that's a very interesting way to take this, because I thought it would be a case of, as they were trying to escape, that they would be pursued or something like that, but it's the complete opposite. The priests don't move. They're essentially an anchor, is the way that Connis and her dad put it. And something interesting about Connis as well is the fact that she's actually the one that essentially got these four kidnapped. Well, at least she sort of set it in motion to start with, and she seems a bit guilty about it as well. I don't think Connis is a bad person necessarily, but maybe she's under some sort of influence, or she's under some sort of, that she has to do it. Maybe if she doesn't, she'll be punished or something like that. I'm not too sure exactly what that's all about, but she didn't exactly seem too happy with the fact that she's had to essentially betray, these four in order to, get them to the upper yard. She doesn't seem too happy about it. So there's definitely something more to that. And Paglia seems absolutely none the wiser. Unless he's a really good actor, he seemed very concerned with the fact that those four were going to the upper yard and they had been kidnapped by this giant lobster that had God on his forehead. He didn't seem too, like he knew anything about it. It's definitely all Connis's doing, but the question is what sort of thing has she got going on? What sort of pressure is she under to betray these four people when it doesn't really seem like she wants to? Or maybe I'm reading it wrong. Maybe she is working for that god and she is helping him get these sacrifices or dish out this divine punishment or something. But regardless, I'm very excited to see these four priests versus Luffy, Sanji, and Usopp. I imagine Usopp's probably not going to do a whole hell of a lot. I could be wrong. He seems to surprise me sometimes with the way that he fights and his tactics. I don't know. We'll have to see. But Luffy and Sanji especially, I'm excited to see fight these four priests, because apparently they're otherworldly strong. I mean, we sort of saw like a glimpse of it before, and then meeting the god himself, whether he's a god or not, or he's just, calls himself that and he's respected in that sort of way because of his power. I don't really know, but I'm excited to learn more about all of it. It feels like this arc is really ramping up now. I've really enjoyed the build up to it, actually getting to Sky Island, sort of figuring out the whole mystery behind it and seeing the Straw Hat sort of discover everything. But, now we're getting into the part where they're in some sort of danger and stuff's going to start kicking off. So I'm very excited about that. So let's keep it going. Skypiea has been really fun so far.